All right, everybody, welcome back to episode number 6, I believe, of the UFL Newsletter podcast. I am your host, Commissioner Cole Wagner, live, excuse me, from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Here we go. Um, Needed some time to evaluate what all went down on draft night. It was a crazy, crazy night. Definitely by far the best draft we've ever had. Just electric trades. We're going to analyze those and just everything that went down on draft night. It was 2 rounds of just unpredictable draft picks, trades, etc. So let's get right into it and evaluate what went down. And honestly, the best thing I can do is probably just go team by team to make it the easiest. So let me figure out how to share my screen here, and then we will get to it. Okay. Share screen. Boom. All right. So, let's just go team by team. Let's look at it from a roster standpoint. So, Andrew Stiffel. Andrew was extremely quiet on draft night, and as he should be. There was no sense of urgency, and there doesn't need to be. He's got a fantastic team. He stayed put up until the very end, and that is when he traded pick. This is what happens when you're not prepared. He traded pick 26 to Brandon. He was late in the draft and he just decided, hey, here's pick 26 and I'll take your 2026 second. At the time, it was agreed he would take Brandon's 2026 first. Brandon later did not realize that pick 26 was in the second round, and Andrew was very kind enough to give him the benefit of the doubt and not take his 2026 first. Brandon's got to be more careful next time with that. So he trades out of pick 26, and then he just takes Roshan Johnson at pick 29. And then I thought he could have taken the free agent that he signed, Kyle Williams, at pick 29. So he gets Kyle Williams anyways, and then he gets Roshan Johnson as the draft pick. It's a phenomenal team. He stayed quiet. He still has kept pretty much his entire roster from last year's draft. The only departures are Nick Chubb, I believe, from that last draft class. It's incredible what Andrew has done, the consistency with his roster, and it's looking like a really good team going into 2025. Brandon finally made some splashes on draft night and just splashes in general. He's never, ever executed a trade before this offseason, and now he has 3 trades before the 2025 regular season. 3 already. Leads the UFL this year. It's fantastic what we've seen from Brandon. So going into the night, he had pick 7 and pick 23. Pick 7, he gets Caleb Johnson. I think that's the right pick. I think Caleb Johnson is a really good player. I think he's going to fit well in the Pittsburgh offense, kind of taking over the Najee Harris role. That's a lot of carries that are going to need to go somebody's way. And Brandon believes it's going to be the young Caleb Johnson. And Brandon specifically said he wanted to get younger in the offseason, younger and cheaper, and that's what he's done. And I wanted to give him flack for it, but he kind of proved me wrong. He really did. He traded me Ramondre Stevenson at $9 million, and he replaces Ramondre with Caleb Johnson, who's projected more points, and he's $8 million cheaper. So you tell me who made the right move there. That's an excellent job by Brandon. He definitely, his first eyes were on Travion Henderson, but Will, the captain, took him at pick 3, surprisingly. And then Brandon was never considering Quinshawn, from what I'm told. It was always going to be Caleb Johnson if Travion was somehow gone, and he was, and he went Caleb. And then you go down and he trades out of pick 23. So this is where we get into the trade with Trent. And it's an interesting one. He trades away Zay Flowers and pick 23 to Trent, and he gets Darnell Mooney and Evan Ingram. Now, mind you, Trent took Elijah Arroyo with pick 23. So Brandon has basically traded Elijah Arroyo and Zay Flowers for Darnell Mooney and Evan Ingram. That's not getting younger or cheaper. That's the exact opposite of what he said that he's been wanting to do. However, he really liked Mooney and Ingram. He wanted a veteran presence. He wanted stability on his bench, and he did just that. I thought it was a good move for what he's trying to do. First glance, I would say Trent probably won that trade, but these kinds of things, they're not as set in stone as they may seem. So now we're looking at Brandon's roster. I love what he's done with the running back room. I think he has really flipped this running back room around. And then he takes his very own Rashad Bateman, who he traded his 2026 second to trade up to pick 26 back into the draft, and he takes Bateman. Now this was the wrong move. This was so wrong on every level. He could have kept Bateman. He could have kept Rashad Bateman from the jump. He was on his 2024 roster. So you don't use a keeper spot on him, and that's fine. If you want to go, let him go to the draft, pick him up again. But the problem is you traded then another draft pick to get back into the draft just to take a guy you could have kept all along. It's not a good look. He almost traded his 2026 first to do it. He's very lucky, extremely lucky that Andrew gave him the benefit of the doubt on that because Andrew would be sitting very pretty if he did not. So I thought that was poor roster management on Brandon's part, but I do want to commend him for at least getting active, trying to make a splash. And everybody usually has bad trades when they first start out, and they get better as they go. Overall, from a roster standpoint, Brandon goes into 2025 with a really, really good, talented roster. I don't think it's elite. I don't think it's going to win the whole cup, but I think it's going to contend. And I think you're looking at a semifinal type team right here. So I thought he did overall a solid job. Bryson and Chase, new co-owner Chase Irvin joins the team. Going into this draft, I wasn't fond of how they built their roster from a standpoint of choosing Stefan and Thielen over Geno. However, I think they proved me wrong. I really do. I mean, you replace Geno with Aaron Rodgers. That's a $24 million cap saving difference. Would I like to see him keep Rashid Shaheed? Maybe, but now looking back at this, I mean, maybe it was the right move. Maybe they did make the right decision. And then looking at the draft, so they had pick five, and then they make the surprising pick of going Tyler Warren at pick five. Tyler Warren over Colston Loveland at pick five. I think it's a fantastic dynasty play. They're not going to ask Warren to play a whole bunch this season, if at all. He gets to stay on the bench, and he's a good tight end option for the future. And Warren's is a really good player, and I don't mind the pick at all. I think I was never expecting Warren to be drafted in the first round, and they took him, and I commend them for what they did. And then pick 21, they go Aaron Rodgers. Again, they could have went Geno again at pick 21, and they went with the cheaper Aaron Rodgers. So we're gonna see here. Was choosing Geno or Aaron Rodgers over Geno the right move? Because we know Rodgers will have to play at some point when Drake May hits his bye week or if Drake May struggles. But this is a statement that they are going all in on Drake May. Projected 326 fantasy points, that's 19 a game. Projected 21 off the bat. If they're getting a top 10 quarterback, they're going to be a top 5 UFL team, mark my words. They've got an elite wide receiver room in DK Metcalf, Garrett Wilson, George Pickens, all good number twos, number ones. They're just solid wide receivers. You could argue two of those three are elite players. So I think that's a fantastic job. And we're not even mentioning Bijan Robinson, like the number one pick in the 2024 draft or the 2023 draft when Bryson took Bijan going into his third year. I mean, this is looking really good now. Bijan is probably going to be the top three running back in the UFL, projected 458 fantasy points. Everything is looking good from Bryson and Chase's standpoint. It's going to be a good team. I thought they had a good draft. And taking Tyler Warren at five is going to be very interesting to see how that pans out. Cole Pletcher. I thought Cole Pletcher had a really, really good draft. I really do. I think he sat there and he asked himself, can I actually contend for a UFL Cup this year? And it sucks pissing away $50. Like that can't be easy. And he sat there and he came to terms with the fact that he probably is not winning the cup this year. So what does Cole Pletcher do? Well, he goes and he says, look, from the jump, Quinshawn was my guy at number two. He now has an assault allegation on him. I don't believe in taking Quinshon at pick 2. From what I'm told, Cole was never that intrigued with Amarion at pick 2, Travion at pick 2, none of that. So what Cole decides to do is trade down from pick 2, calls his boy Caleb. They've made trades now 3 straight years in a row. Cole trades down to pick 9, gets a 2026 first, gets David Montgomery, who's a really good RB2 and a low end RB1. He can slot. He's now Cole's RB1. Cole needed an RB1. So he goes and gets Montgomery, trades down to pick 9, gets a 2026 first. This could be the trade of the draft. And then he still takes Quinshon at pick 9, which is who he wanted at pick 2. I think that is so smart. I think that is such good roster management. And if Quinshon actually plays and is a good player and stays out of trouble, that's a phenomenal trade. And he still gets his guy, Travis Hunter, at pick 6, because you got to remember, he was looking at Trent at pick 4 with Tet McMillan, and he was asking himself, who am I going to? He was going to take one of the two, whoever wasn't picked. It was always between Tet and Travis at pick 4 and 6. Was Trent going to go Travis or was Trent going to go Tet? And I thought Trent should have gone Travis. I think the fact that he was there at pick 4 is crazy. We could be looking at Travis as an unbelievable player, but Trent usually takes the safer options. And Cole liked Tet McMillan. If Cole was there at pick 4, Cole probably would have went Tet too. So he takes Travis, he takes Quinshon, he adds draft capital, and then he just calls it what it is. Look, Cole's not winning the cup this year, but look at the youth. Look at the potential of what we are looking at with Cole's roster. Trevor Lawrence, he's just got to get back on track. He's got to get back on track. He's a top 15 quarterback in this league when he's playing good ball. And he has the potential to be a top 10 quarterback in this league with the arm talent and the size and just the stature of T-Law. Shador, that's a long-term play. That's a long-term play. He believes Shador, by the time T-Law is on his bye week, I believe it's week 8 or week 10, Shador will be playing. If not, remember, Cole can drop Shador that week, pick up Sam Darnold, who's still a free agent. Actually, Sam Darnold would be on bye, so that would be a problem. But he could pick up Kenny Pickett if Kenny Pickett's the Browns quarterback. And he just slots him in that week and picks up Shador. Running back room. So he had Jerome Ford, he had J.K. Dobbins, and he had, oh, there's one more that I'm missing, but it was a nobody. It was a nobody. And now he has David Montgomery, who's better than Jerome Ford. J.K. Dobbins remains $2 million. Why not? And now young Quinshon Judkins to take over. And I think that's a really smart play on Cole's part. And I like his roster and looking at wide receiver, look how young and the potential of Travis Hunter and Ladd McConkey, who is his wide receiver 1. So with him and Travis Hunter, Leggett, if he ever pans out, Jaden Reed is one of the most underrated receivers in the league. And then Jalen Naylor to round it out. Schultz and Ferguson, that's a good tight end punch. Look, this is a team that's going to be a pain in the ass to play. That he's not going to win more than 5, 6 games, but it's a good team. It's got a lot of potential down the road, and it's really exciting. I like the way he's built his roster. Looking at Cole Ryan. Cole Ryan, man, this may be the first time we see Cole Ryan actually have a real draft where he is there, present, makes good picks, and he's got a very interesting outlook on the 2025 season. I mean, you could argue Cole has never been excited about a UFL season the way he's been excited about this one. He's had no roster to really look competitive until this season. Can he finally make a UFL playoff appearance? Because he's approaching the record of most seasons without a playoff appearance. That is David Katz, 4 years, 2020 to 2023. 24 was his first appearance last season. Cole Ryan here has pick 8. I think it was always Igbuka. I think it was always Igbuka at pick 8. I think it's a phenomenal pick. He was always going to take, a wide receiver. That's what he needed. And he goes out and he takes a guy who I think has a lot of potential. He's going into a Tampa Bay wide receiver room that has two aging, good players, but aging, injury prone, you could argue, especially with Godwin now with the ankle. And I think Ibuka is going to really shine in that offense. I really do. Maybe not this year, but that's a great long-term play. And then he needed another wide receiver, and at pick 24, he goes Hollywood Brown. That's just a plug and play. That's a 1 year rental. And look, if Cole isn't winning games and it gets to the trade deadline, look for him to just ship off Hollywood for a second. Why not? Go trade Hollywood to a contender and get Hollywood back or get a second round pick back. And then he picks up Luther Burden in the UDFA period. So he goes and gets Luther Burden for the potential. I mean, so now he before the draft he had Chris Olave, who's fantastic but concussion prone. Quentin Johnston, not a number one or a number two. He had Josh Palmer, Darius Slayton. And now looking at this room, it's got Emeka Ibuka. It's got Luther Burden. Like we've got some youth slowly but surely. We got some youth coming. And look, Cole Ryan, he likes to run 21 personnel. He runs 21. He's going to give you two running backs every week. He doesn't care. He's going to pound the rock. He's going to give you Kyron and Brees, whether you like it or not. So he just needs two wide receivers to get out there and make plays. And that's what I think he's got the opportunity to do here with the Ohio State duo of Olave and Igbuka. It's a good team. It's a good team. It's going to be a pain in the ass to play. Could make the playoffs. He really could. Thought it was a good draft. Thought it was a good draft. To myself, bad draft because he didn't draft. And I thought it was a mistake trading a second for Ramondre. Um, my team is slowly aging. They're getting injury prone. I think I still have a really good I have the best wide receiver room in the league, and I've got a really good young quarterback in Jaden Daniels. But draft wise, there was no moves to be made. David Katz wasn't there for the draft. Had some problems with connection, got stuck with Deontay Johnson and Chigakonkwo. That's tough. That's tough. The difference right there between pick 15 and pick 17 could be the UFL Cup. Could be. Could be, seriously. That's the difference right there. If Devin getting Matthew Golden at pick 17 and David, this is why I say just effort. And that's not David's fault. He lost connection. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. But this is the little difference. But when people love to cry out luck, luck, luck. Yes, fantasy football has luck, just like football has luck. But there's a lot of things you can control and get better at. And I'm telling you right there, that two pick difference from Deontay to Matthew Golden, we are talking about 8 points per game difference. This is why David was painted as a fantasy football draft night loser post draft. Deontay and Chig. I don't actually mind the pick of Chigakonkwo. That's 10 points back up tight end. Who cares? Especially with Goddard. That's fine. Deontay. And then you look at what Devin got at $4 million. Matthew Golden, that's a 9 point difference. We're talking about Matthew Golden could be playing all this year for Devin. That's incredibly tough to watch. So I thought it was a bad night for David. Still a fantastic roster, but I think Devin gained a hand on him after draft night, and I think Devin and Andrew are the teams to beat. David's still in the top three, but David's approaching the territory with myself. And again, you can look at projections. Projection wise, I'm number one. If there is an injury to my team, I am screwed. If there is an injury to my team, I am screwed. No depth whatsoever. Devin's got depth now. He did not have depth last year. He has depth now. Bad draft from David. DJ, worst draft of the night. Horrid draft from DJ. Um, yeah, Michael Wilson in the first round. Kenny Pickett at pick 27. Isaac Garendo at pick 16. You had two first round picks and you spent them on backups. Honestly, all these picks could be backups by the time the season starts. Brutal. Pissed it away. One of the worst drafts we may ever see of all time. And just like that, guys, a draft can kill you in a matter of seconds. I think it's killing DJ. I think his team is aging. I don't think it has that 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 bedazzle. Golly, help me, Lord, speak. McMillan is a number three at best. Michael Wilson, same. Demario Douglas, same. Evans and Sutton got to stay healthy here, men. Evans and Sutton got to stay healthy here. After the draft, he does drop Pickett and picks up Geno. I think that's the right move, honestly. And then he dropped Zach Ertz after the draft and picked up Mason Taylor. I actually like that move. I thought it was good. He saved money. I thought that was the right call. It's a struggling team with not a lot of depth, and I think that was the worst draft of the night. Devin Smith, draft day winner. He's one of our draft day winners. I thought Devin really handled the draft well. I mean, he came into the draft with $4 million in cap space. $4 million in cap space. And he had, or no, he had $15 million in cap space and he had 8 roster spots. He fit out all 8, got way better, and is ready to make a run. He's ready to make a run. I think it was such a good draft. From a trade standpoint, he trades James Conner to Mason for pick 17. I like that trade for both sides, by the way. I think that's a win-win on both fronts. Um, he saves $9 million by trading James Conner, and he picks up RJ Harvey. So he saved 8 million. James Conner's projected 21 week one. RJ Harvey's projected like 19. That's that is so good. That is so good by Devin Smith. And then could be the pick of the draft. Could be the pick of the draft. Matthew Golden drops to the second round. Wow. Wow. DJ could have picked him at pick 11. David could have picked him at pick 15. Evan could have picked him at pick 14. And DJ could have picked him again at pick 16. Matthew Golden drops to Devin. Wow. I'm telling you what, guys, we love to pick on him. When are we going to take Devin seriously? When are we? I'm genuinely curious. When are we going to take Devin Gerard seriously? He's building a damn good team, and nobody seems to think that he's an elite contender in this league. It's time to wake up. Russell Wilson at pick 18. Love it. Love it. $10 million. $10 million as a backup. Why not? That is such a good draft. That is the correct trade that he made with James Conner. James Conner's great. Fun fact, James Conner's been traded 4 times in the UFL. All 4 times Devin's been involved. Received Conner twice, shipped him twice. It's insane. Every single year he's traded James Conner, except I think 22, not too sure. But it's incredible, by the way, that little fun fact. But if Devin stays healthy, we're talking about a damn good team. And then after the draft, he has 2 wide receiver spots to fill. He goes and gets Tyler Lockett at $4 million. That's a veteran wide receiver 3, backup depth. Why not? And Jimmy Horn Jr., that's a dynasty play. That's what I call a dynasty play. So good from Devin. So good, man. That is what I like to see, bro. Best night of his UFL career on draft night. Evan Antonucci. Um, Look, he stated it before, he'll state it again. He doesn't care about the draft. And eventually that's going to bite him in the ass. It's going to bite him in the ass. You can only get away with this luck that he's gotten away with for a while, for so long, before these other draft classes from other guys are going to start kicking Evan in the ass. Love him to death, but it's the truth. I did like the pick of Scattaboo. I did. Evan was present for that pick, and I thought it was a good pick. I really do. Um, I like the pick. I wish he would have went Golden to shore up his wide receiver room. His wide receiver room is ass. Depth wise, amazing 1-2 punch of Nico and Terry. Amazing, amazing. His team is just like mine. Honestly, I'm making fun of him, but it's kind of like mine. If he gets any injuries, he is screwed. At wide receiver specifically. Good 1-2. Terrible number 3 in Cavante. Alec Pierce never panned out, but he makes a pickup. His buddy Jared, our boy Jared Bear, tells him after the draft, go get Keandre. Go get Keandre. Drops Christian Watson, who, by the way, he traded a 2026 first for last year. Lord help me. That is a horrid trade. Horrid. Goes against Keandre Lambert Smith. That's a great pickup. Keandre looks really good. Evan's hanging on here. Evan is hanging on here by a thread. Um, so we'll see how that pans out. He had pick 30, went Alec Pierce. So what? Okay, go to Jared. Jared makes a huge splash before the draft started. He trades pick 9 and a 26 second for Tyreek Hill. Tyreek's not an elite anymore, but he's still a number 1. If Tyreek gives Jared 20 points per game, that is a huge pickup. Huge. Jared's just trying to get some wins. Jared's want to make the playoffs. He's trying. Do I think he makes the playoffs? It's going to be close. His team is definitely improved. Definitely improved. No question. Um, if this was 2021, it's damn near the best wide receiver room in the league. I mean, Cooper Kupp and Tyreek Hill. That is the best wide receiver room in the league. This is 2021. He's got a damn good three-headed monster at running back with A-Chain, Brown, and Tracy. I thought it was a good draft. Looking from it, obviously he trades pick nine, but basically just think of that as taking Tyreek Hill at pick nine. And then I love this pick. Pick 25, he goes Trey Harris. I love that pick. Love it. It's an immediate starter on day one. He's already got Harris in the starting lineup. I think that is a really, really, really good pick. Very excited to see what Trey Harris does for Jared. Overall, with the trade for Tyreek Hill, he's making a splash. He's trying. He's trying. That's all you can ask for. Thought it was a good trade, and very happy to see Jared really starting to call the shots, and he picks up Dak Prescott in the UDFA period after the draft to be a starter. I think that's the right move. Let's go to Mason. Mason's here, man. Mason's finally. Look, he may not make the playoffs, but he's done with that the bottom feeder shit. He's done, man. Like you want to talk about the worst season in UFL history? Go look at that 2024 regular season for Mason. Awful. Least points scored, least everything. It was horrible to watch. Caleb Williams, most sacked quarterback in NFL history, rookie year, like or maybe ever. I don't even know. It was like 68 sacks, something insane. It just awful to watch from Mason. So he goes out. He does not panic. Look, we could all be laughing at this dude for trading away the number one overall pick. He stayed calm. He stayed calm. He knew he took an L. He knew. He knew. He could have Ashton Jenny right now. He knows that. He calmed down. He decided to make some really, really interesting moves. So he trades Wandale Robinson to Owen. He knew Owen needed to free up cap, so he goes and gets Pittman Jr. He goes and gets Pittman Jr. in 2027 second. He had the money to do it. He had the money to do it. Why would he not? Pittman Jr. is a better receiver than Wandale. That's projected 238. And Wandale's probably projected what, 215? 188, dude? So that's a 4 point difference. Mason's immediately a better, that's getting a better player, and he had the money to do it. So he does that. And then he knew Devin wanted to free up for James Conner, so he takes on James Conner. All he did was just assess the situation, see who needed to free up cap, help him out, give him a pick. Here's Matthew Golden. I already got my young guy. I already got Pittman. I already got Adunze. I already got AJ Brown, Cedric Tillman. So I'll take pick. You can have pick 17. I want James Conner. I can't trust Travis Etienne, he says. So he goes and gets James Conner. And then I'll tell you what else he does. At pick 28, he gets Jared Goff. And now all of a sudden, Jared Goff was QB3 last year, guys. Why are we not? I don't understand what went lost when the whole golf discussion, but look, I understand why Devin can't take him, Trent can't take him because of cap, DJ couldn't take him because of cap. I get why he dropped to Mason, and I like Jared's move, but let's talk about that addition. Mason has Jared Goff, guys. This is not the same Mason as last year. It's not. It's a new team. Jared Goff is his starting quarterback. And then in the UDFA period, he picks up Jaden Higgins, rookie from the Texans, and he goes and picks up Jerome Ford, who, by the way, he's going to go ahead and start week one because Jerome's probably going to be the starter. Mason was projected 94 points, I think 86 points actually before the draft. He's at 111 now. Goff, Ford, Pittman. Here we go. Again, he may not make the playoffs. It's time to talk fringe for Mason. It's time to talk fringe. I think he's leaped the Pletchers, the Talebs, right now, those teams towards the bottom. This week one matchup, Mason and Jared, is fascinating to me. Fascinating. I'm fired up, man. My life may be pathetic, but I'm still fired up. Here we go. After that, let's look at Owen. Amazing job. I mean, I thought we finally had him cooked. He had 3 first-round picks and he had like no money. I thought we finally got him cooked. I knew he was going to take Genty number one and he was going to be screwed on cap. And he slithered his crazy, stupid ass out of it. He did it. He did it. He finessed his way out of this again. Again. He trades Michael Pittman, frees up the cap. He wasn't going to start Pittman anyways. Boom. Here's a 27 second. I'll take Wandale. Here's cap. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was brilliant. He got his way out. He was frustrated. He got Pittman out at 23 million. He saved 21 with the trade. So that frees up a bunch of money. Boom, I'll take Genty number one. Boom, I'll take Cam Ward at number 10 to back up Tua with his injury issues. And boom, I'll take Colston Loveland at pick 13. All rookies, all best rookies at their positions. Owen Stiffle is here, guys. It's time. It's time. It's time to look at Owen as possibly a contender. It is. It is. It just is. Do I want to be saying that? Hell no, I don't want to be saying that. You think I want this? Damn good for ratings, though. Damn good for ratings. It's so good. And it's not just the starting lineup. This is where he jumps teams like me and Evan. The depth of this team. It's dangerous, guys. It's dangerous. It is. It just is. This is a dangerous, dangerous depth team. It's young. Like he has got all the pieces to make a run here. Really good draft from Owen. Hate to say it more than anything. Caleb King, I don't like it. I understand what Caleb's doing. He's going for the rebuild. I get it. He had 4 first round picks in 2026 going into the night. I get that. If you want to trade a 26 first and move up to pick 2, get your guy in Hampton, I'm for that. I really am. Ship out Montgomery. Dave Taleb's going through a rebuild. I get it. I don't I don't know, man. The biggest thing is right here. Projections, everything seems to point at Xavier Worthy and Keon Coleman are supposed to be these number 2, number 1 receivers. I don't see it. I don't. I don't see it, guys. And now what you have done trading Tyreek Hill, who I get is not the old Tyreek Hill, but he's still damn good. Like, we're talking injury prone team. There's no number 1. There's barely a number 2. Good number 2 in Waddle, but he's now his number 1. This is a rebuilding team, guys. This is a rebuilding team. Tight end room's old as dirt. It's a rebuilding team. No other way to say it. Good quarterback room. Love Purdy and Penix. Honestly, solid running back room. Wide receiver is going to kill him. The Tyreek Hill killed him. Um, yeah, that just it is what it is. Um, so thought it was a below average night for Taleb, but don't doubt it. Like he's not going to make the playoffs this year. I don't see it. I don't see Taleb making the playoffs, but don't doubt him to make some deals and get his way back into things. 2026 could be a scary year for Taleb. Trent, I thought this was a really good night for TT. I really do, guys. I really do. I think Trent has had a history of being a little too complacent at times. He's always had good seasons, never great seasons. Guys, more like Trent, start to keep your eye on him. I'm not saying contender this year. I am saying fringe playoff team. I am. He was 6-8 last year, and I think he's better. Lot of youth. You want to talk about Debo now is to his bench. Um, Evan Ingram, gone. Darnell Mooney, gone. He's replaced it with Zay Flowers, Ted McMillan. It's just some youth. Elijah Arroyo. Like, we're feeling young here. Trent's team is young. Like, for the first time, maybe ever, Trent's always trusted the aging vets, Keenan Allen, and all this kind of things. Like, he's trusting the youth, guys. He's trusting the youth. Three-headed monster, $1 million. Two-headed monster, $1 million. James Cook, Isaiah Pacheco. Watch for a Cook extension. Trent can afford it, guys. Trent can afford it. If Cook goes to 15 million a year, Trent can afford that. He's fine. He's chilling. Debo, he could just ship Debo after this year, which I think he will, and he's fine. This foursome, Devontae Smith, Ted McMillan, Zay Flowers, Rashi Rice, that's lethal. That's lethal. So how did he do it? What happened? Going into the night, he had pick 4. He goes and takes Ted McMillan at pick 4. This is going to be, there's already been an article about it. It's going to be examined for a long, long time. What happened if Trent would have went Travis Hunter over Ted? People are going to look at this draft for a long, long time. But it's what happened. It is what it is. We move forward. Okay. Then you look at the trade. I thought this was a really good trade, man. You're trading Darnell Mooney and Evan Ingram. You're getting younger. And if Zay Flowers connects, you're getting better. Zay Flowers is immediately his number one receiver. He now has Tet as his number two or Devontae Smith. Like, this is looking good. This is exciting. This is exciting. Trent, depth wise, probably not there. Takes Joe Flacco and Elijah Arroyo at 22 and 23. Love the Elijah Arroyo pick, by the way. Flacco, that's just to save money. Remember, guys, Trent can absolutely drop Flacco on Herbert's bye week and put in Sam Darnold. So he's fine. You are allowed to go over the cap. This wouldn't even put him over the cap, by the way, but you are allowed to go over if your quarterback is on a bye and your backup can't play. Will Daniel. I thought it was a good draft. I really do. I had him taking Mark Andrews at 3. Will go ahead. He takes him at 19. So he waits on Mark Andrews, gets him at pick 19. If this is the old Mark Andrews, that's an unbelievable pick. And then he takes Travion at pick 3. I thought for sure he would go Hampton if Quinshawn went 2. Or he would go Quinshawn at pick 3. He says, "Screw all that. I'm taking Travion, man. I'm not because right now Mixon may miss the first 4 weeks, so we'll need somebody that can play. And I tell you what, Willie D, watch out for Willie. If his team can stay healthy, watch out for this team, man. It's gonna be if he can start out the gates hot, 5-2, 5-3, he can drop a couple once these guys get hurt. As long as they stay healthy throughout the playoffs, Willie D could be back to not a UFL Cup, I'm saying, but definitely a playoff appearance for sure. It was an incredible draft, man. Incredible draft all the night, all for the night. It was so fun. Um, it was so fun. Best pick, in my opinion, Devin with Matthew Golden pick 17. That was phenomenal. Travis Hunter pick 6 was really good. Colston Loveland at pick 13 for Owen. Fantastic. And then worst pick, any of DJ's. Pick and choose any of DJ's. That's your worst pick. All right, boys. Amazing draft. Lot to look forward to. We've had this month to recap it. That was fantastic. We'll keep recapping until it's time to start previewing the season. Rosters are pretty much put from here on out. That's episode 6. We'll see you guys next time.